Good afternoon. Welcome to Risa's Attic. Woo! I'm so glad you're stopping by today and spending a few minutes with me. Yesterday I had started on a project where I was doing some hydrangeas. I had started on this one first, and I completed it. I did a couple of I did a couple of the flowers online with you, and then after I got offline, I finished up these elements here, and I've got one more that I'm going to cut out, and I'm going to put it right here, bump it up on a piece of foam and put it right there. And then this one I did completely offline yesterday. I just kind of dimensionalized it by cutting away part of it, popping up this one on a piece of foam. I stuck these leaves under some of the flowers and over some of the flowers, and I took this little guy and I just did his body and made his little legs and antenna, and I just pulled his butterfly wings up just a wee bit there. But I want to do a couple of things while you are online with me. First of all, I want to show you, I had someone that was throwing away a bunch of CDs because now people have everything in their cloud. So this person had loaded up all their music, tons of it, onto the cloud, and he's throwing away just tons of CDs. So I went through, me and my husband went through, and I got a bunch of them. I saved CDs that I'm going to keep some for me, and then I think I might even try to sell some. But this one right here was a double CD, as you can tell, and I cleaned all the guts out and the little thing that held the CD, actually, all the paperwork. And I am now able to put all the pieces, including my stamps and my dies, in here. So now I have a nice little place to keep. And I've used the single ones on some of the others. I'll share that with you probably one day soon. But right now I'm going to cut this guy out, and let's see, put him right there. Now I'm getting out, if you'll recall, I bought one of these from Tuesday Morning for $25, $24.99. It's a little teeny tiny embossing and die cut machine. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tape my die down, because sometimes they do like to slip. Get it in a good place, hold it, piece of washi. I love this little teeny tiny Sizzix Sidekick because I can keep it right here on my desk, and I don't have to go and get my other one and pull it out, even though it ain't that far away. It would be just like, do I really have to do that? Nah, I'll figure out another way to do it. So anyhow, here we go. And you can clamp this down, but since it's on a piece of paper, I'm not clamping it down. There we go. Look at that. Also nice and neat. Most of what I use for my cards are smaller stamps and dies, so I don't need that big old thing, lugging it around here and there. Okay, excuse me for knocking that. Here is my other little flower. And so I'm going to take a piece of foam right here, put it in the middle like that. Get my other little We Are Memory Keepers gadget, pull that off, and I am going to set him or her right there. Now the middle one has not, that middle has not been colored in yellow. There we go. Yellow, although I think I used a different yellow. Anyhow, isn't that pretty? These are so lovely. I did these. I did the coloring with my Copics and a few of the other things. Let me go over it with you. These areas that I thought would be like down in between the flowers, I did put some of the Firefly Gray over it. So that was a non-Copic. And I just made it look a little darker instead of shading it with a darker color of flower. But then after I shaded it with the gray, I didn't like it, so I went back in with the darker purple. And you will see some of these I did pretty good, some of them not so nice. But when somebody receives a handmade card like this, they really don't look at your mistakes. They're like, wow, she did that for me. I know the first time I received a handmade card from my friend Susie, I was like, wow, I didn't even know this was a thing, you know, and it was amazing to me. But anyhow, here you go. I've got him bumped up, him on a piece of foam, these are on a piece of foam, and I'm going to put it on a card. Now here is the second little guy I made. And now I actually want to do this one differently. I'm going to use the method that I used on them the last time I did them by hand. I colored it by hand. I should have looked up these colors before I got online with you. BV00, BV01, and I need another BV. Do I have another BV? I'll have to tell you that I still don't completely understand Copics numbering system. But here we go with BV followed by 4 zeros. BV01, oh, and BV00 will be in between. I'm going to see if I can do them like I did the first time, which is you go in and you color the whole thing your lightest color. And this is BV followed by 4 zeros. And this is an extremely pale color. And honestly, I'm just about out of it. It's called Pale Thistle. The good thing about Copics, when you purchase other companies, like the Firefly, like I just showed you, if you give out of a certain gray color, you have to go and purchase the whole pack of gray again. They do not allow you to buy individuals. And that gets to the point where you have a lot of redundant markers. But of course, you can be a generous individual and give those away. But if you're the kind of person, which, you know, I have been in places in my life where I could barely afford what I was doing, let alone give something away. But so like if you go with 100% Firefly, you're going to be very redundant, shortly overwhelmed with all your duplicates. With Copics, you can buy individuals. Also with the Hobby Lobby brand, I can't remember if you can buy them individually, but I do remember seeing the Michaels brand, you can buy individuals. All right, I started off BV followed by 4 zeros. Now I'm doing BV 2 zeros. And what I'm going to do with it is nope, actually what I was wanting to do with that, I was wanting to actually color. And I did use these before, and I'm going to have to buy well, what I should have completed was my thought about with Copic, you don't have to keep buying markers over and over again. If you have a marker that you use a lot, you buy the refill for it. It's very easy to refill. You pop this out. You can actually pop it out with your finger, and you just drip it. It has a nice little drip thing. You drip it in there, and wait a few minutes for all the appropriate things to soak in, and then you go on about your life. You don't have to buy millions and millions of the same things over and over again. And they are considered a professional marker. Professional artists use Copics. And that's not why I bought mine to begin with. I don't consider myself a professional much of anything, but when you invest in something nice, and if you keep it nice, you can have something good to use. And I really did want to do this. Okay, now what I did was I went back over all the colors again. And when you go back over it with all the colors again, you blend it better. And a lot of people do circular motions, a lot of people do straight like this motions. And there you go. There's my first flower, doing it the way that Copic teaches you. Now, when this is all dry, I might go back in with a green and just at the very throat put in some green and then do some yellow. But it's already 14 and a half minutes, so I'm going to say thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I really appreciate every moment that we get to spend together, because I know you have a busy day. God bless you. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Thank you. Have a great one. Bye-bye.